Welcome to Diversity Conversations, where we engage in thought-provoking dialogue to identify leadership solutions to today's most challenging conflicts. Streamed live each week, Saturday 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Hosted by Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Strategist and CEOs Eric Ellis and Tommie Lewis. Join us and add your voice to this engaging diversity conversation.
In Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, the United States, and the world, I am Tommie Lewis, President and CEO of Make It Plain Consulting. This morning, my friend and my brother, Eric Ellis, is out on assignment. We want to wish Eric safe travels to and from, effectiveness on his time away, and continue, Eric, to pour into people with your gifts and your talents. I'm excited this morning for a number of reasons. One, I'm excited because it's another great Saturday morning that we're able to come together, and another great opportunity for you, community, to continue to support us and share more about what we talk about, what we do, and some action steps that we can take as individuals and as a community with other people throughout your own respective communities and the world. I am very, very excited to share that this week has been a bit of a challenging week for myself. A week personally, going through some decision making, had a few dilemmas, maybe even some crises that I had to work through. And in the process of working through these issues, dilemmas, crises, I've come to learn more and more about myself. I would like to invite all of our community members to stay true to yourself and raise your hand if you have a need. This is why I think today's conversation is very important. So this is the second part. The second part is today is November the 1st, 2025. And unfortunately, there has been a phase out of the SNAP benefits program here in the United States of America. And I'm excited to bring and have a conversation with our guest, Sharon Watkins. Sharon is the community engagement specialist for an organization here in Cincinnati called the Cincinnati Action Agency, CAA. And as we begin to bring Sharon up, I would like to also encourage each and every one of you to like and subscribe, to do all these things. And so it's an honor to bring Sharon up this morning. Good morning, Sharon. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we have audience members from around the world who enjoy building and encouraging one another. And in this time right now, we have a community who may be less known, less heard, but your work and what your agency does is very important to help people feel that sense of belonging, that they're cared for, and that there's a resource for each and every one of us to tap into. But before we get into that, we would like our community members who are across the world, Sharon, to learn a little bit more about you. So tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll get into the conversation around what you do.
Okay. A little bit about me. I am been with the Community Action Agency for the last 7 years. I've spent most of my careers in customer service. I worked for our local company, Duke Energy, for 24 years. And then I went into the public school system and worked for 7 years. And now I landed at Community Action Agency. I've always had a passion to help people. And I think my previous careers have set me up for where I am today, because I've been able to help more people than ever in the current role that I play.
Now, you're in the Cincinnati area, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you born and raised in Cincinnati?
Born and raised in Covington, Kentucky. A lot of people don't know that. Just right over the bridge, very very close to Cincinnati. So when we're out of town, if I tell somebody Covington, Kentucky, they look at us crazy. So we just go with the Cincinnati, So
Sure, sure.
yeah.
It's in the tri-state area, right?
Right,
Tri-state
right,
area.
right,
We
right.
want to give a shout out to your hometown,
There
Covington. We
you
don't
go.
want to minimize it at all. Minimize
Right,
it at all.
right,
And so,
right. Covington,
uh,
Kentucky. I graduated from Holmes High School in Covington, Kentucky.
Sharon, I did not know that at all. I did not know that.
Yes, yes.
Great, that's great. And so you work for the Cincinnati Action Agency.
Community Action Agency. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
the
Community Action
Community
Agency.
Engagement Director for CAA now.
Yeah.
Yes. And I oversee 5 food pantries a month. I go out in the community to give information about all of our different programs that we offer. So that's part of my responsibility as well.
So I'm excited to have you here today because, first, thank you for when I reached out to the Community Action Agency, a number of folks very quickly. There was a communication between me, you, and another individual to say, yes, we will absolutely be there to really talk about the impact of the phase out of SNAP.
Right.
And also want to really talk about what resources the CAA offer to our individuals and community members who are either been in food deserts, there's food insecurity, or even other impacts like health and all that good stuff. So at a high level, could you share with us, today is a
Yeah,
significant day, what
absolutely.
are potential impacts of the SNAP phase out?
Well, as I said, Tommie, I oversee 5 food pantries. So that is my biggest role in the community to help people with the food deserts. We've moved in our pantries into a couple of the areas where there are food deserts, like Avondale. We're in Price Hill now. We're in Forest Park as well. And then we have 2 in the Bond Hill area. So we try to move the pantries around the neighborhood, around the city, where we can meet the people where they are, right? And so one of the things that we're going to see, and I know it's going to be affected starting today with the lack of SNAP benefits, is the lines for our pantry. Our pantries are all drive-through. You just drive up and we take your name and address, and we only do that so that we can track how many people we serve and the areas that we serve. So it doesn't matter where you live. You can come to one or all of our pantries. Some people are, they think because they come to one that they're not able to come, but we have people that come every week. The only stipulation is we offer senior boxes. We offer senior boxes at 2 of our pantries. Senior boxes are dry shelf life foods, right? So these boxes contain like rice, cereal, dry milk, beans, tuna, salmon, things that you can keep in your you can keep without refrigeration, and
Yeah.
you can keep it you can get a box like this every month. And we only offer that at 2 of our pantries. And it's for people that are 60 and older. And what we're seeing is I had a pantry on Tuesday, the last one for October. We have 5 a month. We have one pantry the first, second, third, and fourth week. We usually have 2 the last week of the month, right? So I knew we were going to start feeling the impact of people kind of getting in line because they want to stock up basically on their food as much as possible. And so the last pantry on Tuesday, we try to have our pantries up to 2 hours. We don't give an ending time because once we make up the bags for that pantry, once they're gone, they're gone. So we don't want people to say, hey, I was supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here if it starts at 2 to 4 o'clock. We don't do that because I don't want people to hold us to that. We found that out very quickly with the pantry. So what we're experiencing for our Word of Deliverance pantry, which is usually one of the lighter pantries, on Tuesday, the lines were out the driveway, right? And we were done in 40 minutes. We were out of our food, everything in 40 minutes, which is
Wow.
really, really quick. I mean, we usually last at least at Word of Deliverance, that pantry, we usually last hour and a half, close to 2 hours. But 40 minutes, everything was gone. The free store supplies us all of our food. And the free store is even having a shortage now of the fresh produce that they're giving us. But we still make the number of bags for the drive-throughs. So for the Word of Deliverance pantry, we make 125 bags, which serves over 400 families or something like that. And our biggest pantry that we have every month is the fourth Thursday of the month at Corinthian Baptist Church. Now, for that pantry, we make 200 bags. And last week, the fourth Thursday, of course, lines were on the street. So for our Corinthian, we've had to make exceptions where people can go around another facility to line up our pantry. But the lines are increasing. We know with the Word of Deliverance, I knew I was going to feel it, that one, because that one's the closest to the November 1st date. And of course we did. And we track how many new families that we get at each pantry. And in that 40 minutes, we actually saw 28 new families that drive
Wow.
up to that facility. So it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But our lines, we are expecting our lines to be super long, super long. And that's
Yeah.
okay. We're going to do it as long as we can do it, as long as the free store gives us the produce and food to pass out. We'll be there. We'll be there for the community.
So Sharon, you talk about 400 families here, maybe another 200. I'm thinking between 500 or 1,000 or north of 1,000 families throughout the course of a month.
Mm-hmm.
And are you seeing that families are coming of need,
Mm-hmm.
and then are their needs met fully, or do they need additional resources or opportunities to either get food or any other need based for them?
They come to us for food, but they also ask questions because we are CAA. So other resources that we have, like our winter crisis program, heat program, CDL program, programs for people to get jobs. We do training and stuff like that. So we answer a lot of questions sometimes about the other than the food. But yeah, we do offer other resources to them that comes along with being at CAA and doing the pantry. Yes.
So for the distribution of the food, do you all have CAA staff, or do you utilize volunteers? What does that look like?
We use volunteers. We use both. We mainly do the CAA staff for our intake because we need the name and addresses of our clients, like I said, so that we can track them. But other places like the churches, like Word of Deliverance, they have their own volunteers. Corinthian Baptist, they have their own. Everyone they try to get their own volunteers. But it is an opportunity for the community or anyone that wants to volunteer. We could always use more volunteers, especially as things are decreasing and we have to try to increase the number of people that we serve. We could use more volunteers.
Yeah, so at the end of the show, we'll talk about and leave folks with how to volunteer with
Absolutely.
CAA and stuff. Absolutely doing that. And so are you seeing or forecasting not only the increased number of families that are coming with a need, but are you forecasting that folks will be coming maybe with a different attitude or perspective that the SNAP benefits program has gone away in and
Mhm.
of itself.
Yes. Yes. And people are already lining up to come, already calling. I get so many calls a day asking when the next pantry is. What do I need? What do I have to do can I get on the list? And it's like try to make people comfortable and say there is no certain list or anything. It's a list if you've already been here, just so it goes quicker, but you don't need anything special to get in line. You need a car to come in, to drive up and give us your information. People need to know as well, excuse me, that they can also walk up. We have people at our main campus at CAA on Langdon Farm that they come to the library there. There's a WinMed there. And so people that come to those facilities, they also are able to come and pick up produce from us, and they don't have to get in the line because a lot of them catch the bus, and so we try to make the bag where they can carry it. But sometimes, like if you came on a bus or something, you wouldn't be able to carry a senior box because that's too heavy. So we try to accommodate anyone that's walking up to us. So we have somebody taking information for people that are walking up and versus those that are driving up. But yeah, it's going to be a lot going on. A lot.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
As we have our conversation, typically our community chimes in all the time.
Mhm.
Again, we are local to the Midwest. We are national across the nation. We're international, etc. So I want to bring up and share this from our co-host, brother
Mhm.
Eric Ellis, who's on assignment and multitasking at the same time. Eric says this: if we want to donate produce, what are some of the best items to bring and where do we drop them off?
That's a great question. Um, One of our main location at 1740 Langdon Farm Road would be the best place to bring produce. If you want to bring produce, normally you have to get it within the time of our pantry dates because produce doesn't last, especially fresh produce. So you want to get it close to that day, but you can always bring it to our main location and we can get it out to our other pantry sites. Or you can always go to the Free Store Food Bank. The Free Store Food Bank oversees hundreds of pantries a week, and they are the area. If you want to help, this is the big thing. If you want to help right now, the best thing you can do is donate money to the Free Store Food Bank because the Free Store Food Bank oversees all of these pantries and they can decide what to buy, what to give, and that kind of way instead of giving it. But if you just want to give produce and stuff like that, you can bring it to our main campus in Bond Hill. I hope
Yeah,
that answers his question.
yeah, I think that answers the question. And as you were speaking, Sharon, my mind is all over the place right now. So I want to back up just for a little bit and ask you operationally. So I believe for some time there's been some threats that the SNAP benefits program was going to go away. Some
Mhm,
threats. And then over the weeks and the months, it became more and more real. Then, unfortunately, for many, we've had a
mhm.
government shutdown, right?
Right.
And in the midst of this government shutdown, there was, still this item of the SNAP benefits program and the and how phasing that this program out is going to negatively impact north
Mhm.
of 40 million Americans. With
Absolutely.
all that said, that runway, if you will, how was CAA informed? How did you all strategize? And then, as you look at, you know, really rolling out additional resources through the pantries, what was the process of getting information, making sure it's correct, and then strategizing against the need?
Okay, well, we've been informed by David Bradley. He's our lobbyist for the Community Action Agency. So we are regularly in touch with his. He gives us updates on a regular about what's to come. And as far as strategizing, we just have to rep up. We have to be in the mindset. We ask for additional volunteers. You have to be mindful of the people that are coming. That's a whole different thing. There's a lot of people that are coming through our doors and saying, I've never had to do this before. And you can't be judgmental. You have to be open to, this could be you, and in any given day, this could be anybody. And so you have to be mindful. You have to have patience. The people that are sitting in line, we have people that line up 2 hours before the pantry start time. So that they're anxious, and they're waiting. It's like, soon as we open, don't let anybody come and try to cut in, the line. People are on edge. So it's a scary time, but you got to strategize. You got to have patience. You got to be mindful, and you got to be ready, because we know it's coming. And like I said before, the volunteers help. Sometimes we have members, we have partners like Anthem Insurance and Aetna, other people that'll come, and they'll walk and talk to the people. They may talk to them about other resources that they have available. That kind of thing. That helps calm people. They may give them a giveaway or something like that while they're waiting in line. So we do whatever we can to be ready for the group of people, for the people that are going to be sitting in that line. That's the thing you got to focus on more than anything, is the people that are sitting there waiting for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Because it's scary, and they want to be the first one in line. They want to be there. They want to make sure, because anybody that's come to our pantry, they realize that we only have so much, and once it's gone, it's gone. And the saddest thing, Tommie, is to run out and that line is still long. That is the saddest thing. And all we can do is say, we have a schedule for the next pantry. This is the next time you can come. So that's where we are.
That's great. I love what you said. This could be you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If you are someone that's living, blessed to be in a home, and there is a storm that either takes your home out, it takes out some of your food, clothing, transportation. It could be at any moment, any of us can have a need for assistance.
Right.
And I remember myself, Sharon, being there. This was not too long ago, and had a pivot in my life, some 20 years ago, a pivot in my life where I had to almost restart. And I had access to people who had resources that could, spot me a few dollars to have a meal, or even a few coins to get on public transportation. And so I don't want that to be missed with our community, that we are a step away from having tremendous need. And we have to bring humility and humanity back into the conversation. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Yeah. And you said, caring for the people that sit in line, that's right there to be serviced. Can you talk about some of your volunteers, their spirit, their energy, their specialness in serving the people of need?
Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Volunteers of America. There is a group that's led by a gentleman named Roy Gerber, and he oversees the volunteers. It's like a halfway house. And they come out to 3 of my 5 pantries. And Roy and his crew, it's sometimes it's different guys. It's not the same guys all the time, but they come out and they can run that pantry. He is very passionate. They love coming out. They love serving people. And any of the volunteers we have, they're there because they're volunteering, because they want to be there. They want to talk to the people. They want to interact. They want to hear. We're almost like counselors sometimes, because you want to hear, especially the seniors, because the seniors come out, especially the 2 where we do the senior boxes. We get more seniors than anything. And you know how seniors are. They need people to talk to. They don't get to talk to people on a regular. And so it's a great opportunity to put these people together, our volunteers and seniors, and have them have a conversation. I have people that I've been doing this for 7 years, and I have some clients that come to our pantry that send me cards and Christmas card, Mother Day card, you know what I mean? Because we've built that relationship. So it is an ongoing relationship because I see them every month, sometimes more than once a month. And so you probably can tell I love helping people. I love the seniors. I love the people coming. And so I love what I do. And the fact that we can help you in any way. And if this bag of food will help you get you through the week, get you through the month, then I'm blessed by that. I feel like we're in the blessing business. I feel that's what CAA is. It's a blessing to our community. And I'm not just saying that because I work there. I have been around a long time. And I know I've seen it firsthand. I know it firsthand. It is a blessing to the community. And it's definitely a relationship. If you come to any pantry, you'll see people in their car waving, hey, Sharon, you know what I mean? They know my name, they call me if they confused or something's going on. So it's a relationship and it's wonderful. And like I said, the volunteers from Volunteers of America, they're great. They're great. I usually have 6 or 7 guys that come from the Volunteers of America, and they love it. They love it.
It's a godsend.
Yes.
It's a godsend. Why wouldn't we, as human beings, those
Right.
who are humane, give back to other humans, right? Give life,
Right.
not give death at all.
Right.
Who does that, right?
Right.
In our community, I would shout out Roger Miller. Roger's always joining us, Sharon. It seems like every week, every month, every year, this gentleman is with us. Roger says this, right? Sometimes you guys are that 5 loaves and 2
Yeah.
fish. Miracle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Yeah. Yeah. I had a gentleman, and I always remember this story. At Corinthian Baptist, we always do a big Thanksgiving pantry. So we don't do it it's the 4th Thursday, but at Thanksgiving, we do it the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which I want people to know that we'll be doing that November 22nd. We have ordered over 300. We normally do 200 bags, but for Thanksgiving, we're planning to do 350 to 500 orders that day, right? And I'll never forget, a couple years ago, I was at the Thanksgiving pantry, and a gentleman rode up to me, big guy, in his truck, and he had tears in his eyes. And he said, I can't thank you enough for this. You have no idea what this means to me and my family. If I didn't have this, if you didn't give me turkey, we would have not had any Thanksgiving. And I'm able to pay another bill because you've given us this turkey. And I mean, when we do Thanksgiving for Corinthian, we do it with the fixings. So you're not just getting a turkey, you're getting the sides, the potatoes, the cranberry, the corn, you know what I mean? We give it all. So they are so thankful because it's your whole meal. And that means a lot to people. But for him, and I don't know why he stood out so much because I hear that, but his sincerity and the tears, you know what I mean? For this big man, you know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes you just have to humble yourself and be willing to go get in that line. And there's no shame. There's no judgment. You know, I see people with Lexus and all kind of cars. And sometimes people used to say that, look at them. And I say, don't look at them. That just take the information and let's move on, because you, like I said, Tommie, you never know. You never know. You don't know their story, you know? And so we don't judge. We just are happy that we're able to be there and to do this for people.
So let's get a little personal and then we'll pull back out, right? Sharon, you're an inspiration. We've known each other for some time.
Right.
And I'm sure, like you said, they recognize you as they're going through line, et cetera. They may recognize you at a Cincinnati Bengals football game, you know, all that good stuff. But I want to ask you, how has this work impacted you and your family?
It just makes me thank God that I'm able to do it, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
definitely like someone just said, it's God's work. I feel like I'm purposed to be here in this job. Like I said, Tommie, I've been working since I was 14 and where I am now. Uh, and I think I've been groomed to be here for this particular job, for this calling. This is my calling. It's giving back to the community. And so personally, I've grown because I've learned some things too. Because, every now and then I do kind of look like, well, wait a minute, you know what I mean? And then I have to step back and be like, don't go there. Don't go there. You know what I mean? Because I have my family to think about. My family's been in that situation. My family has been in that line, to get food. So it humbles you. It does. There's no way you can be in this business of serving people and not feel it like that. And
Yeah.
personally, because if you didn't do it personally, you wouldn't be able to do it, Tommie, because there is people that will go off on you for no reason. If just with other CAA programs, if you come in and you want money for your light bill and you're not eligible or we're out of money, people have attitudes and they take it out on you. So you gotta know that you can't take stuff personally. It's not about us. It's a higher cause that has us to be here. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
know you understand that. So if I wasn't supposed to be here, I don't think I would be. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. Special people for special times for special reasons, right?
Absolutely.
And the special time that we are in now, this particularly November the 1st of 2025, we want to timestamp it and this
Right.
phase out of the SNAP program. We need special people like you, Sharon, to do special things, right?
Right.
And some of us can go above and beyond. And what that is not just handing out or distributing kind of the package, the food, if
Right.
you will, but sometimes it's projecting the positive and energy, the
Right.
positive energy
Hmm.
of hope, right? And I think we need hope even more so now than in
Right.
times in the past, right?
Absolutely.
So, so
Absolutely.
yeah, when we're thinking about, you know, either is food again food deserts or food insecurities and things like that. What does the lack of food and nutrition
Mhm.
do to people and communities?
The lack of food, it shows up in all different aspects. They just did a report about how many kids in schools are homeless, living in their car, or even if they're at home, if they don't have no food, no SNAP, if that shuts down, those kids are going to school hungry. What happens to those kids and those families when there's no free meals at school or it's the weekend or, you know what I mean? It shows up when I worked in the school system for 7 years. I understand the need to feed these kids. We had programs where we sent boxes home on the weekend so that they're fed. It shows up in their skill level. If you're doing a test and your stomach is growling, you can't focus. These kids can't focus. Older, senior people, nobody can really focus if you're sitting there, if you're trying to do anything and you're hungry like that. it's
Yeah,
it's so sad. I hate to see food wasted. I hate to see anybody hungry. And I think that's why the pantry is such a passion of mine to see the lines, to give those people the food that they need. Food deserts are it's sad. That's the only way I
yeah,
can say. The deserts, people that say, hey, we don't have nothing. I was at an event the other day and a young lady came up to me. She had two kids with her. And she said, I'm probably going to be coming to your pantries. She said, my benefits in this weekend and I'm going to go use the rest of them, but I don't know what I'm going to do after that time. You
mhm,
know, What do you say to somebody like that? I'm lost with words that our government has led us to this, that we can even be here today and say that these 42 million people will not have any benefits after today. I'm just dumbfounded.
It's embarrassing, Sharon.
Mhm.
It's from my perspective, it is embarrassing that a country
Yes.
of this magnitude, who has citizens who are proud, citizens who are contributing in multiple ways, that the citizens of this country, have decided that those who are less fortunate and or without, say, food, they will receive a benefit as
Mhm.
a citizen, a SNAP benefit. SNAP is not a handout.
Right.
It's not
Right.
anything that we hand out. Oh, we're going to give you one small cracker because you need more than that, but we only going to give you one. And we're going
Mhm.
to hand this out to you in hope that you are alive, you stay
Right.
productive,
Right.
right? But in reality, it is a benefit that there is so much abundance
Mhm.
in this country that it makes sense to provide for those who are less fortunate. And it doesn't matter where you are in this country, right? The
Doesn't matter.
urban core, rural, Appalachian, it doesn't matter. In fact, my follow-up question to you is uh, you have your pantries. Where are folks coming from? Are they coming from sometimes other counties, et cetera? Where are they coming from?
They come from all over Hamilton County. We
Okay.
have no jurisdiction as far as saying, oh, you have to live in Hamilton County. You can come from anywhere.
Okay.
Excuse me. Let me get this.
Yeah.
Should I get this
Yeah.
phone?
No
Hold on.
problem. So yeah. So again, it's a busy Saturday, November the
There
1st.
you
We're talking to Sharon Watkins. She's back with the Sharon
go.
Watkins, but this is real time, good people, and it's
Right.
live and direct. Yeah. They
But
come from
okay, so I told you where the pantries were located. Price Hero, Avondale, Forest Park, Two and Bond Hill. But the people come from Butler County, Kentucky. We have people coming from all over, because if you go to our website, you can see where we are, the times and days that we'll be there. And so I'm telling you, Tommie, like I said, I've been getting so many calls just because my number's on the pantry, on the flyer. And so they want to know, even though we have the flyer, some people they'll pass the number on to their neighbors or friends and say, hey, call her and she'll tell you. But they come from all over. I don't have not one specific location I can say, oh, they're just coming from this area. Now, when we're in Bond Hill, yeah, we get more Bond Hill residents and others from around the area, but they come from all over. And I'm
yeah,
sure that'll grow. Mhm.
yeah, and our community is always chiming in. I want to bring up our new paradigm lifestyle, and she has a question. Uh, what's the website? And so we want to ask that question for you to share. What's the website, and how might people volunteer?
Okay. Our website is www.cincy-caa.org. And you can go on our website. We have a place on there. You can drop down where we are as far as volunteers, and you can go on there and sign up. Or you can call me directly. My number is 513-924-2021. So you can go on our website and volunteer, or you can call me. You can email me. My email address is swatkins at Cincy, CINCY -CAA.org. Any means you need to get to me to volunteer, I'll take it.
So Sharon has given the website, a telephone number, and an email. So I don't think, community, there's any reason, if you are in the greater Cincinnati area, not to take advantage of volunteering, particularly in the season of giving and the season of blessings. We want you to pass it forward to give others blessings if they need it or not. Even if you think they don't need it. And
Right.
as Sharon and I have been talking about, it just takes one moment, one situation, and not looking at the person because they have a Lexus. We don't know everyone's story. So let's give when we are in abundance. Let's give when we're not in abundance, because there may be a day and a
Right.
time, hey, I need some help, right? I need some help. So we got the website, we have the telephone number, and we have the email address. We want to invite the community to continue to chime in. Anything else would you have, Sharon?
I just want to say to people, if you have a neighbor that doesn't have a vehicle and they are in need, please bring them with you. Or if you want to pick up a box or food, produce for them, please have their name and address and their family size. And then you're able to pick up for other people as well.
Am I correct? Just correct me if I'm wrong. Is our community action agencies regional or national? Do we know?
They're definitely regional. They're all over the country. Yeah, I
Yeah,
should say that. All over the country. Yeah.
absolutely. And
And
so,
you can tune in. You can go to your community action in your area as well. So it's not just Cincinnati. Mhm.
yeah, and that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
If you're not in this area, if you're in your particular community, your city, your town, go to your local community action agency or like agency. If you
Mhm.
want to volunteer your time,
Right.
spirit, and your resources in that regard. What's next for the next week or two as folks are saying, hey, things are run out, and now I'm maybe in a little bit of a panic mode? What's next?
What's next? Go to, like you said, find out where we're not the only game in town that's giving out food distribution, but you can go on the Free Store Food Bank website and find out where all the uh, produce pop-ups are, or the mobile pantries, any food pantries. They're all listed on the Free Store Food Bank website as well.
Sharon, this is excellent work that you, um, Community Action Agency, does. Folks around this local city and regionally and nationally, it's great work. As we look at the next couple of weeks or a month, there's some fingers crossed
Mhm.
that there will be some release of SNAP benefits funds, right? We don't know. We don't know. Um, I want to pause just for a second, Sharon, because I know we're talking with the community, but I feel some type of way about hurting the less fortunate
Mhm. Absolutely.
or the needy. So I
Mhm.
want to say or the needy because it's not only less fortunate, right? It's anyone that has
Mhm.
a need. I
Right.
feel some type of way where, the country that I live in, that you live in, that we live in, other people decide to intentionally hurt and possibly do
Mhm.
more because of one fundamental human right: food.
Mhm.
That's what we as humans need. We need food,
Right.
clothing in some way,
Need
shape, or form,
shelter.
right?
Mhm.
Shelter, you got it,
Mhm.
and transportation, even if
Right.
it's by foot,
Right.
right? We need
Right.
access to opportunity. You mentioned before with food, feeding the babies, feeding the elder, and everyone in between helps us keep focused, helps us be productive, right? Helps us stay
Mhm.
alive, for crying out loud. Who
Absolutely.
can live without
Food.
food, right?
Mhm.
It's just like a
Mhm.
snack.
Right.
And why are we silencing the snack, right? That's
Right.
my commentary because I get emotional about it, and I and,
Mhm.
and, and I want to move from emotion to action.
Right.
Move from action. Roger Miller says this, right? Your love for the unseen is insightful and inspiring. Much love and respect for all you do, seen and unseen.
Mhm.
Thank you, Roger. We'll bring another comment from Roger here. And Roger says, your agency open arms has welcomed uh, all members of every community.
Absolutely.
Of
Absolutely.
every, can you speak on that a little bit more?
I
About
will. We have an immigrant liaison, and he works very hard, very diligently, working with the Hispanic community to make sure that they're able to come in and get an application for service. Everything that we have available, the immigrant liaison can reach out to them, or they can come to him so that they can experience like everyone else. So we don't want to limit anyone because of a language barrier. At our Price Hill pantry, it's probably 80% of Hispanic speaking clients that come there, right? I do have to share this with you. They are nervous.
sure.
When we do intake there, I've seen people when we have our tablet out, I've seen people drive up and turn around and leave out. And that's because of the scare. They're scared. What are we doing this information? They're very nervous. So it's very sad. And so we have the volunteers at the ministry, the block ministry there, and our immigrant liaison on hand to talk to them, to try to help them. And we even added that to our pantry flyer to let people know that we only use this information for tracking purposes for ourselves and the free store. So we know who we're serving. That's it. But it's very sad to see people that can't even drive to a pantry because they're afraid of getting deported or something.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought that up, Sharon, because it's real.
Mm-hmm.
That fear is real.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, even in the African American community, with certain things that's happened in the past, with experiments and whatnot, folks said, "Oh wait, we don't go to the doctor,
Right.
right?" Because it was real. It was a real lie.
Right.
Or, right, we're in Cincinnati, crying out loud. We are the most southern free state in the union. But
Mm-hmm.
folks moved from and traveled through Covington, Kentucky, into Ohio, north into Canada for freedom, right? And at the same time, we were, trying to manage that process. And so today, where folks end up missing for whatever reason, families are still being separated,
right?
So for our Hispanic and Latino communities, that fear is real. But Sharon Watkins and CAA and Diversity Conversations, on behalf of Eric and myself, we want to bring you comfort. We want to bring you confidence that what we are doing and what we've been a community is for the better good, right? There is no ill will. It's not. We too, I want to speak personally, I too have the same reservations and or fears.
Yes.
Right?
Understood.
Yeah. Understood. And so, when you're working with volunteers at the churches, if you will, that have the volunteers, is there anything additional that they need? And this is not a coaching moment, but this is an opportunity for support. What do our churches need in addition to volunteers to help this effort?
The volunteers is critical, but anything that you can donate, like the churches are a good spot to take your donations, the food, like Eric was saying, if you wanted to do that, because they're going to get the people there. So if you wanted to donate to the churches, I think that would be a great thing if you pick a church in your area. Or someone recently was telling me about a church in Lincoln Heights, and they were saying they don't have a lot of food pantries out there. Can we collect food and canned goods and stuff and take it out there to that church, to your point? So we're looking at some of that kind of thing behind the scenes where we can help as well. So that's what I would suggest for the churches. Donate money and say, hey, this is earmarked for food. This is earmarked for families that are in need. Because sometimes, like our church, my particular church, we have a benevolence fund that's for more than just food and funerals. And, sometimes we need you to donate money so we can pay that utility bill. Sometimes people need their mortgage paid, to be honest. There's so many other needs that are out there other than food, So you want to donate to a church, donate funds and tell them where you want that money to go.
Yeah,
That's
that's a real good point, Sharon, because so some of our families, we have to make a decision between, do I pay for food or get food to feed me and my family, right?
mm-hmm.
Or do I pay the electric bill to keep the lights
Right.
on, which will keep the refrigerator on such that
Right.
our food does not spoil, right? And or do I pay rent or
Right.
mortgage, right? Or do I, so it's all connected.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay the
Yeah.
electric bill, there
Mm-hmm.
will be no electricity,
Right.
particularly as we're moving into December and cold season,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Food warms us up. It's nutrition for us, but it's
Right.
energy. So now I have less energy to maybe even go to school or go to work to
Mm-hmm.
make any money to pay the electric bill. The
Right.
vicious cycle beginning with
Right.
food.
Food. Mm-hmm. But you know what, Tommie? I will say there are a lot of resources. You can get to a lot of resources in Hamilton County and Cincinnati. We have lines available. You can call 211 if you have no idea where to go. If you say, hey, CAA can help me at this point, let me call 211 and they'll give you other resources. And people need to use the resources. Use it because there's a lot of money out there that's unspent because people don't tap into it. So tap into your resources. If you need to know where to go for your utility, you can call Duke themselves and make arrangements if you can't pay that bill. The worst thing you can do is, I'm on another subject, but the worst thing you can do is ignore your bill. I don't have the money, I'm not going to pay. Call them and make arrangement. That's my Duke experience background. Call them,
Yes.
make an arrangement with them and tell them, let them make arrangements so you can know what your monthly bill is going to be. So you can not have to worry about that. So that when you are down on your food, you can go to the pantry and then you can already have that electric running for your heat. You know what I mean? So one helps the other. Like you said, it all blends in together. But you can't just ignore bills. You can't. You can't.
Right.
We just like we can't ignore the fact if we're hungry, we're hungry. You can't
Yep.
ignore that. You got to do something. And sometimes people get desperate and they do desperate things and desperate measures. So you have to be careful of your family members, but putting them in those situations so that they don't get desperate and do something that they'll regret later,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We want to call this up again. We'll spotlight again. You can call 211
Yes. Mm-hmm.
for other resources. So we want to
Right.
bring that up on the screen so that people can hear who are listening
Right.
via podcast and see it if you're watching on YouTube. These are resources. So this number 211 is in
Mm-hmm.
the Hamilton County area. I
Right.
would recommend that wherever you are in the country, in the world, find out what that number is that will connect you to resources, including and beyond food.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
again,
Absolutely.
this is
Housing, I mean, they help with everything. Housing, finding housing, utility. St. Vincent de Paul is another good resource in our community. St. Vincent, I have a good friend that works there. I just recently found out all the things that they do, if you need clothing, New Life Furniture is another community partner that we have that will give you 3 rooms of furniture. If you are homeless and you a family get a place to live, you can call me for that. We offer that as well. And you get living room. I'm serious. You get living room, kitchen, and bedroom. You can get up to 2 beds through that partnership. So there are resources out here other than just don't give up. That's all I can say is keep encouraging people. And when I hear people are going through stuff, I'll be like, oh, okay, let me tell you how you can get to this other place to get help with that. Oh, and that's what we do as community partners. We share that information. When I'm out at these events that I go to attend, and we set up tables with all these other vendors, we're sharing information. Let me send my client over to you if they need a reentry program, just different things. People say, hey, I'm a felon, had a felon. What can I do? Go to Hamilton County Reentry Program. There's resources out here for everything you need. I guarantee you. You just got to tap into them.
You got to tap into them, Sharon. Two sides here. If you are one that has resources and connections to resource, I would like to say, remain humble.
Yes.
Right. And offer the resources with humility. Right.
Right.
If you're someone who needs the resources,
right,
don't be embarrassed and don't be shamed.
There you go. There you go. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. We've all been there. We've all been there. Or we may be going. So don't get too high on your horse either, thinking we got it all together, because any given moment we can go there. That's the way I feel. Personally, that's the way I feel. Don't ever feel like, oh, I'm above people. That bothers me when people. Let me not say that, but
no, it's all good. It's all good. One to shout out comment from our co-host Eric Ellis, again, still multitasking. Says he's mentioning this to the community. Sharon, Tommie, and I will have you back, Sharon, and become more involved with you and your work, right?
Awesome.
Because I want to double down on what Eric is saying. One, Sharon, thank you again, and CAA, for the work that you're doing and your willingness to come on this national podcast to make the community aware of the resources that are available on this day, November 1st. Secondly, it's not over.
Right.
So on November the 2nd, tomorrow, everyone is not going to be cared for. Right. So we have to have you and others coming back more regularly to keep the awareness on front of mind, from the telephone numbers you can call, the emails, the websites, the open arms and warm welcome to say, please email or call or go on the link, right? Go to the website and find the resource that you, right? And if you are someone, there are many people that do not have access to technology.
Right.
I'm certain that someone that does.
Right.
That's in the bar, that phone, bar, that laptop, bar, the desktop, whatever the case may be. Send that email, make the call, do the search engine search.
And don't leave out the public libraries. The public libraries will help you with any application. They have people designated just to do that type of work. When it comes to taxes, when it comes to HEAP applications, they help a lot of our clients fill out their paperwork. And it's mainly the seniors and stuff like that. So don't forget the resources. And I can't say that enough, to tap into the resources. Yeah.
Community, we don't mess around and hit a gold mine with Sharon Watkins this morning. For real. I mean, not just the conversation, not just the person she is, but the gem to our community that she is and what she represents. Sharon, that's our time for today, right? That's our time. Do you have any kind of closing comments before we close out for today?
I just want to say thank you for having me. I was a little nervous about doing this, but as you said, it's just been a conversation. And when I talk about my job and what we do and what we offer, it just came naturally. And so I appreciate the opportunity. And I'm always a phone call, email away. If you need more information, I'm always willing to get out there and help people. And I do go to different schools and events and talk about what CAA does. So that's part of my job. So I love it. I love being here. And I can't thank you enough. And this is a great platform to get the information out to the community.
Thank you again, community. We were joined and blessed this morning to have this rich conversation with Sharon Watkins, who's the community engagement specialist with the Community Action Agency. We want to thank you for joining us again in another episode of Diversity Conversations. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye now.